Hey guys, in this video, I wanna show you this incredibly powerful One Bar Stamina Arcanist build I've been using to solo veteran dungeons. You can also use it to solo world bosses, Harrowstorms, dragons, etc. And this build absolutely obliterates them, because it was made for solving dungeons, which are far more difficult than any overland content. If you want to see this build in action, you can see me solo veteran hard mode Imperial City Prison at the end of this video, after I'm done talking about the build. The build is also on my website, so if you prefer written guides over YouTube videos, you can read it there instead. The link will be in the description. In this guide, I'll be regularly using the terms regular and difficult. Regular refers to content that is intended to be soloed, such as Maelstrom Arena or Vateshran Arena, and to any overland content, such as world bosses, Dolmens, dragons, Volcanic Vents, Harrowstorms, Mirrormoor Incursions, etc. Difficult refers to soloing 4-man content, such as dungeons. But even then, some of the easier dungeons would fall under the regular category. The line between regular and difficult isn't very rigid though. If you're struggling with a world boss, you can just use the difficult skill setup, which will have better survivability at the cost of having less damage. So let's start with skill setups. This is the regular skill setup. Cephaliarch's Flail is an AoE spammable that generates cracks, heals you if you hit any enemy, and increases the damage enemies take from you by 5%. It will also trigger the Splintered Secrets passive, increasing your penetration by 991. Pragmatic Fate Carver is an extremely powerful crack spender that deals full damage in an AoE, has massive range of 22 meters, grants you a big damage shield while you channel it, and it's extremely cheap, allowing you to sacrifice sustain in other parts of the build. It will also trigger the Splintered Secrets passive. Wield Soul, with the Flame, Lingering Torment and Breach combination on it, is a dot that will also apply the Major Breach debuff, which reduces enemies' armor by almost 6000, and is crucial for any non-overland content. Since it's a magicka ability that has to be recast every 10 seconds, it's going to improve our stamina sustain by a lot. Use Razor Caltrops instead, if you don't have access to scribing. Inspired Scholarship is an ability that deals lots of damage and ensures you'll have at least one crux when your beam ends. It will also trigger the Splintered Secrets passive. Crooksweaver Armor is your source of Major Resolve, which is an extremely important defensive buff. It will also apply Minor Breach to enemies who attack you for 6 seconds, and generate cracks when you get hit, up to once every 5 seconds. The Languid Eye is an extremely powerful ultimate that deals damage in a small AoE, but it can be moved off global cooldown, even while you're beaming. It will also trigger the Splintered Secrets passive. Now as for situational skills, depending on how much you dislike bar swapping, you can use Simmering Frenzy, which goes on your back bar, and only has to be activated once at the start of the fight. For overland content, where you don't need the Major Breach from Wield Soul, you can replace it with Barbed Trap. Now moving on to the difficult skill setup. I'm only going to mention abilities that change compared to regular setup. Wolfseed's Contingency, with the Bleed, Gladiator's Tenacity, and Force combination on it, is a delayed AoE damage that also grants you 8% damage reduction for 8 seconds, and Minor Force for 22 seconds, which increases your critical damage by 10%. You should recast it every 8 seconds when under pressure, and every 22 seconds otherwise. Use Revealing Flare instead, if you don't have access to scribing. Moving on to gear. This is the beginner setup, made with only crafted sets, so you can easily buy them off of guild stores, or ask someone to craft them for you, or craft them yourself, if you have researched enough. The two 5-piece sets we'll want to use are Order's Wrath and Claw of the Forest Wraith. Order's Wrath is just insanely powerful, and will stay relevant even as you move away from beginner setups. Forest Wraith not so much, but is the next best option. On weapons, you'll want to use 2 pieces of the Assassin's Guile set, just to trigger the 2-piece critical chance bonus. It doesn't have to be Assassin's Guile, it could be any set with 2-piece crit chance bonus, but I'm showing Assassin's Guile here because it needs the lowest amount of research traits to craft. On the image you can see that the traits are Training/Divines. Divines will straight up make you stronger, but if you're a new player, I think it's worth to sacrifice a tiny bit of power to get more experience gain, so you can level up faster. You should use daggers instead of maces, if you plan on doing mostly overland content, rather than instanced. For a ranged build, replace maces or daggers with a bow of the same set, with Sharpened trait for instance content, or Precise for overland content, and with an Absorb Stamina enchant. This is the regular gear setup. Deadly Strike is an extremely good set for an Arcanist. because it boosts the Pragmatic Fate Carver. Ansel is a Slayer set that's going to provide a decent damage increase, no matter the situation, and it gets much more powerful in the fights where you can interrupt enemies. Alternative sets you can use, if you don't own these, are Tsogren's Warband and the 2 crafted sets from beginner setup, Order's Wrath and Claw of the Forest Wraith. Moving on to champion points. In the blue tree, you'll want to use Biting Aura, which increases AoE damage by 6%, Thaumaturge, which increases dot damage by 6%, Fighting Finesse, which increases critical damage and healing by 8%, and Wrathful Strikes, which adds 205 weapon and spell damage to damaging skills. When soloing extremely difficult dungeons, you should replace Wrathful Strikes and Fighting Finesse with 2 of the 4 mitigation slotables that match the fight's damage type, so Ironclad, Duelist Rebuff, Unassailable, and Enduring Resolve. Huge majority of the times is going to be Ironclad and Duelist's Rebuff. In your red tree, you'll want to use Bandit's Vitality, which increases your max health by 1400, Bastion, which makes your damage shields 15% stronger, Rejuvenation, which grants you 90 health, stamina and magic recoveries, and Fortified, which increases your armor by 1731. You can replace Rejuvenation with Sustained by Suffering, in fights where you constantly have a debuff on yourself. Moving on to race. When it comes to solo PvE, you need both damage and survivability, so pretty much all races have useful ratios. The best race for dealing damage is Khajiit. While the critical damage from Feline Ambush can sometimes be wasted, due to critical damage being capped at 125%, it will never happen in solo content, because there will be no tanks or healers, providing you with the major force buff. The best race for survivability, and what I am using, is Nord. The Ragged Racial will provide around 6% damage mitigation. Now Mundus. Huge majority of the times, you should use the Thief Mundus, which increases your critical chance. For extremely difficult dungeons, you should consider switching to the Lady Mundus, which increases your armor. Now attributes. For most content, you should put all 64 points into stamina. For difficult content, you should devote as many attribute points as necessary to health. For some content you'll be able to get away with 32 health, 32 stamina. For the extremely difficult stuff, you'll need 64 health. Now food. For regular content, you should use the garlic coat with potato crust, which increases your max health and max stamina. For more difficult content, use Artyom Takeaway Broth, which provides smaller amount of max health and max stamina, but provides stamina recovery on top of that. If a fight requires even more blocking or dodge rolling, or Zorga's Tribe Travel Pocket can provide even more stamina recovery than Artyom Takeaway Broth, but it doesn't provide any max stamina at all, which will lower your DPS. It also provides more max health than Artyom Takeaway Broth. Moving on to potions. Use the weapon power potions. They will greatly improve your sustain, and provide major brutality and major savagery, which are crucial. You can craft them by combining Blessed Thistle, Dragon Thorn, and Wormwood. Okay, let's try this again. That can be blocked easily, 4k blocked. This I have to roll, and I have to roll it like instantly, because I won't survive the entire thing. That's not a good fight for Arcanist, I have to interrupt my beam so many times. With the worst fight possible for Arcanist. I wonder what happened when you let him channel. Didn't fail it yet. I think I'll just focus on him. Oh. Dropped my beam. Nice. Right. Watch me die to these ads. Nothing. You mean nothing happens when you interrupt? Well, I still gotta do this for the Ansu. Yeah, I think I need to just push him to the next phase. I think I got another one because I was at not enough DPS. Yeah, I could make it cheaper if I just leveled up or if I cleanse vampirism. I mean, to be fair, I'm killing them fast enough, I might just not stop them from reaching the boss. Going to actually use like Harrowstorm pots. Or maybe I just kite him. Okay, now I need to push him hard. I need to make him go away before he... Yeah, there we go. I barely saw that heavy because there's so many of them. Yeah, he's gonna do it again soon. I think I have to kite or... Okay, no, he actually goes away. Okay, then I'll just keep killing the Atronachs. Big passive siege. I got the passive. I got the cost reduction passive. I'm just missing cost reduction from leveling it up. From leveling up the ability. Yeah, he's gonna like do it one more time now and I'm gonna cleanse it and I'll be it. There we go. Okay. That went smooth. The fiery soul. Okay, maybe I should have used card shops. Oh, I can't block it. Am I dead? We're not dead. How many stuns in this place? Got this one first try. Yeah, I'm getting better at recognizing the monstrous cleave animation. Oh, I didn't activate Frenzy this time, I forgot. Fuck. I rolled it too late. I was... I didn't fucking dodge this time. All of these old dungeons have those super desynchronized heavy attacks. Did you just eventually learn how to like sync them up? And I forgot Frenzy again. Whatever. Do I need to focus on Necromancer? Yeah, the Templar was... Something was giving them a reduction. I don't know the mechanics here, because they just melt in a full group. Huh? How did I do that? Why is it dropping more of them suddenly? Oh, I forgot Frenzy. Am I smoking, or do the like meteors feel way more frequent than the previous pool? Tristan, thanks for the sub.
Field subscribed for 6 months.
How can you have Order and Oaken Soul at the same time? I do not have Oaken Soul. I didn't read what you said, looked. And that's it for this video. If you have any more questions, you can comment down below or join our Discord server Wildheart. As always, feedback will be appreciated. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel and check out my Twitch. Thanks for watching and see you next time.